Welcome to the 5th episode of Protect the World, Africa. Every month this year, I'm visiting a different not-for-profit organisation from across the African continent. My goal is to share their stories with you in the form of 12 short documentaries. This month, I've travelled to Mutare in eastern Zimbabwe to connect with an organisation who are working to support those living with disabilities, with a particular focus on the local deaf community. A big thank you to everyone who supports this project, and I hope you find the team at Nzeve as inspiring as I do. Cheers.
I first found out when Elwe was 5 months. He was diagnosed with meningitis. Everything went back. He couldn't walk normally, he couldn't sit. I could call him and he couldn't respond. That is when I found out that my son might be deaf. But I wasn't sure. So I came here, I was referred to Nzeve. That is when the tests were done and it was confirmed that Elwe is deaf. I couldn't take it at first. Like a normal parent, it's very difficult to accept. But through counseling and interacting with parents here at Nzeve, I started to have a green light to see the future. That is when I accepted that my son is really deaf. My name is Blessing Chaipa. I'm the Executive Director of Nzeve Deaf Centre based in Mutare, Zimbabwe. As an organization, what we are trying to achieve is to empower the person with disability to live an independent life and to be included in every aspect of society, whether it's social, it's economic, it's political, everything, where everyone else is involved. We also want them to participate. We started off focusing only on deafness, but as we moved, we realized that our work is going broader. We are now including all types of disabilities, but the overall mission is for a person with disability to live a fulfilling life.
One of our main pillars is early identification and early intervention, with main focus on children. So I do hearing tests here at the center and as well in outreaches, say remote areas where there is little to no service.
When a child has been identified and then we note that they are profoundly deaf, we make the efforts to ensure that they are enrolled for the early childhood development program. And in most cases, they would not be having any sign language at all. So when they come, the first step is to teach them the language. Our model for our early childhood development is that the mother or the parents or the caregiver comes with the child so that they both learn the language together. And when they go home, they teach other family members who are there so that it reduces the isolation of the child. So this is the model that we have been using and it works quite well.
Ndakauya pano 2018 nemwana wangu mukomana anonzi Wayne. Ndakauya Wayne ari pa 3 years. Anga asingagoni kufamba kana kusumuka. Aingoita rolling paanenge ari. Asi ndazounzwa panapa. Ndakange ndichisvisvikana zvakanyanya kuti why zvaitika pamwana wangu uye zvichapera here. Ndikatombofunga zvokuti ndimurase here, ndimupe ani nekuti ndaitambudzika. Ndanga ndisina aindisapota.
Our session is combined speech and occupational therapy. So we'll start with group coaching, and then we'll split them, those who need OT and those who need speech. So it's a really interesting program, not just to help their children get therapy, but to also support the parents of children with disabilities, because they face a lot more challenges, and we have to create really positive relationship between the parent and the child, and then we will start seeing some development coming through.
Saka through COVID yoyo ndo pandakatotanga kunasa kutobata zvaidiwa nemwana kuti ndiite through kudzidziswa nenzeve. So far when atowena 9 years yake akuenda kuchikoro kutaura akatanga last year agraduate apana anga ari kutaura 1 word. So far akutotaurawo 3 words zvokuti kasentence kakubuda. Inini ndakatobatsirika kuti zvamozwa kuti mwana kana achinge asina kunyatsoita zvakanaka pautano hwake, unonga ukakarasika mubrain, unogona kutoita mentally, but vakandisebedza kuti ndiwane shamwari through kuuya kuri kuitawo vanobva uko taapanapa taachinhu chimwe chete, tatowe shamwari neshamwari sisi nemunin'ina.
In most cases, the assumption is that there's a lot of information about gender-based violence, and there's a lot of information about sexual reproductive health and rights out there. But the reality when you're working with deaf individuals is that that information does not get to them.
Communication barriers and discrimination have made it difficult for the youth to get training for a tertiary education. So Sangana Vocational Training Skill is there to provide skills for the deaf community here in Manicaland.
We try to push this human rights model as opposed to the charity model. The charity model is when you see the person with disability as a victim, as a person who needs help. But the human rights model recognizes them first as a human and with capacity to do a lot of things. So our work with the rural communities is mostly to give them information so that they can reduce the discrimination, how they can support families with children with disabilities.
My name is John Mvuto. Ndiri mubereki womwana uyu. Ndiri muno munyika mwana uyu achiberekwa 2006. Ndanchirarama kungotamburirawo mwana wangu chete. Tisina imwe help yandandichiwana. Nzeve yauya yakasvika kuti urongwa hwokuti vanhu vese vazive kuti pachikono pano paMvuto pane chirema. Mwana akatanga kugadzirirwawo imba yake, vakatibetserawo, vamwe vakatipa zvidhina, vamwe vakagadzira mari yekutenga marata, vamwe vakagadzira mari yekutenga simende, zvokuona urema asi asingazvizivi chingoti chirema chokwanhingi, but nzeve yavo yakavhura pfungwa, vanhu vakandibetsera. Mwana wangu ane imba yake akuzvipindirawo zvakasununguka.
I get excited when you see a child who comes here and they were not able to do this and now they're able to do it. When they can now say that my name is, I come from, how old am I, it gives me so much joy. And sometimes we call each other and they say, come, let's see, come. This child is now able to stand, and we all go and we clap our hands and we do our happy dances. For us, it's not even a small thing, it's a big thing. So these are the excitements that we celebrate in this place.
With great support, having a son or a child who has a disability, it seems nothing. If you have someone by your side, and here at Nzeve Deaf Centre, they have that. And I'm just really happy. I'm just thinking about my son's future, that's all. What happened is now history to me. I'm just living ahead. And I'm just really happy that we are being supported here.
Thanks for tuning in to this 5th episode of Protect the World, Africa. As always, half the money that came into the Patreon this month was donated directly to Nzeve, plus a little bit extra from my own savings. If you'd like to help me give more money to more amazing NGOs in the future, please consider signing up to the Patreon for as little as $5 a month. You can also help out by subscribing to my newsletter, following my work on social media, and sharing this video with your friends and family. You'll find all the relevant links, including to the Patreon, in the description or in my bio, depending on where you're watching this. Another huge thank you to everyone who supports this project, financially or otherwise. And I'll see you next month for another episode of Protect the World.